Hi, so my name's Emily, I'm 20 years old and I'm a fashion journalism student as well as the culture editor at Bricks magazine, and I like to crochet. So when I'm buying materials for crochet, I usually only buy 100% cotton material. Pure materials, really. I avoid acrylics because I don't really like the concept of having plastic in the yarn. It doesn't really seem necessary. It's not environmentally friendly. I've learned recently, however, that there are ways to be even more ethical in sourcing materials. I haven't bought yarn in quite a while because I've built up quite a collection, so I haven't really needed to, but I found out that you can get quite a lot of secondhand yarn in charity shops, which of course is, not reusing, but using something that's been unwanted and isn't gonna get used. So during the lockdown, obviously, I feel like a lot of people went through honestly this desperation for something to do. You see people baking bread and just going back to, things that no one ever really does that often anymore. And that's the same goes for crafting, like handcrafting, crochet, and things like that. There's become such a momentum lately in its popularity, and I think that that's because it occupies time. It allows you to do something rather than sit around and do nothing. But it's also really cathartic. I think there's this really awesome energy when you finish a piece and you're like, oh my gosh, I did that. But also just sitting there and doing this repetitive stitching motion over and over and over again can be really, really calming and good for my mental health. I had this feeling, I suppose, when I moved to London, because I used to dance growing up, very competitively, many, many hours a week, and all of a sudden I didn't do that anymore. I just went to uni, and I felt this gaping lack of creativity or emotional outlet, passion, all those sort of things. And it took me a while, but I guess when I picked up crochet, it felt like I had something creative to do again and to think about and to focus on, and it's really energizing in that way. So I started selling crochet through my Instagram. I would just put up a picture of something I had made, myself modeling it, and be like, crochet gloves, 15 pounds, DM me if you want one. And I had 2 people DM me, and they both bought a pair. One was someone on my course, but not someone I know very well, and the other person was a complete stranger. And I think that's really cool to have, I figured it would be my friends wanting pieces, people who, can see the work in person and trust my abilities, I suppose. But no, I sold them to people I didn't know too well, and I think that it was just really cool. Yeah, and it's validating when I post something and people want to buy them. This bag, for example, I've sold 2 different color variations of the same design, and it's just, I don't know, it's just fun and cool, yeah. When my uni term finishes in a couple weeks, I'm hoping to kind of, hunker down and actually try my hand at designing properly, doing the sketches and, figuring out what I want very specifically, and then putting it all together, because I want to do these experimental designs, where it doesn't really follow a specific pattern. Maybe you go between different types of crochet stitches, maybe use very different materials, like a worsted weight yarn versus a chunky yarn, like together in the same piece. And then I want to do like maybe 6 of those, and then launch that as like a capsule collection that people can then order and commission from the designs that I've done. Whether that's like a custom commission, so they want to change up the colors or something, I could maybe do that, or if they want the exact same design. Yeah, because I think, I mean, I've only sold a few pieces of crochet so far, but honestly, I think it could be a really good like secondary income for me. It's something I like to do. It's not going to be like burdensome. So yeah, I really want to give launching a tiny brand a go.